initiating the diagnostic explainer for the 8th month of structural deep cultivation. This mission represents the interests of high-pressure professionals by actively screening information sources for critical intelligence. The central operational question stands: how exactly does a physical system effectively restart and calibrate under cold, high-stress conditions? By the end of this intelligence extraction, the exact mechanics of physiological hibernation and neural rewiring will be fully mapped out.
The immediate intelligence package on the cover reveals the baseline metrics right up front. A weight milestone of 63.5 kilograms, seeing the stuck pelvis via squats, and navigating the 10 degrees Celsius signal closure period.
This operational roadmap logically extracts intelligence regarding physiological hibernation and mechanical calibration. The sequence covers the signal closure period, indoor defense, mechanical chain reactions, survival instincts, and the transition to conscious leading.
Section 1. 10 degrees Celsius signal closure period, establishing the absolute foundation for energy conservation and fine calibration.
A signal closure period is defined as a mechanical and sensory shift triggered by a 10 degrees Celsius temperature drop. This necessitates wearing shoes and socks, resulting in a temporary loss of barefoot grounding. When the January 2026 cold snap hit, this first closure period decreased external signals but made internal deep navigation significantly clearer. The physical carrier effectively enters a state of serenity to restart.
Returning to a 63.5 kilogram asset baseline acts as a direct, undeniable indicator of system stabilization.
System records indicate an 80% recovery of limb muscles compared to pre-hospitalization levels. This allows for the total cessation of walking sticks and the stable execution of 8-hour standing work protocols. This outcome relies entirely on thorough chewing and nutrition concentration strategies. The data represents structural deep cultivation, where absorption successfully converts into 1.5 kilograms of new muscle assets.
When the body shivers, the physical reflex signals an immediate need to rest and recuperate. This requires the first mate role to arrange heating equipment so the core system can reorganize in warmth. The foundational protocol stands: relax, the body already knows.
Moving on to Section 2, Indoor Defense and Interoception. The operational focus shifts entirely to adapting protocols within enclosed environments.
The 8-hour standing work protocol is systematically divided into a strict block structure. Block 1 consists of 2 hours of standing work. Block 2 scales up to 4 hours of standing work. Block 3 concludes with 2 hours of standing work. This 2-4-2 rhythm prevents mechanical overload while strictly enforcing endurance.
Because external tactile signals become blurry due to wearing socks, the underlying logic shifts. The brain is forced to work much harder to grab signals from deep muscles just to send subtle shifts in the boat-shaped arc. Sensing through socks actually becomes a primary data-gathering method for the nervous system.
Additional protocols include non-dominant limb training. Executing the fine practice of pouring water with the left hand forces cross-midline collaboration. This swapped movement acts as a critical system patch, forcing the brain to activate new navigation links the precise instant balance is disrupted, systematically breaking a 60-year inertial center. Section 3. Mechanical chain reaction discovered. Structural tracking exposes a direct sequence of physiological events. Data logs clearly map the cause and effect mechanism within the physical framework. This timeline maps the mechanical chain reaction of breaking static states with dynamic movements. Prolonged sitting triggers meridian discomfort. Immediately, the body sends stand-up protection signals. During the 8-hour block, squats are added as a rest movement. Squats act as a mirror, ironing out fascia folds and resolving the horizontal lines above the knees. Ultimately, this dynamic action exposes the final stuck pelvis skewness. The stuck pelvis is identified as the final level of 60-year skewness and rust. It is classified as the core node of the gravity-switching fault during structural reorganization. Discovering this stuckness was a major operational victory, pinpointing the exact core node necessary for the system's continued vertical reconfiguration.
Section 4. System Survival Instincts Inventory. Quantifiable metrics prove the visceral space is successfully unlocking.
Data outputs demonstrate the energy engine is running at a high RPM. Weight gain tracks at 1.5 kilograms. The hunger signal activates at 6 p.m., which is a full 4 hours earlier than previous cycles, indicating the system urgently requests repair materials. The urine foam ratio tracks at 40 to 60 for fine to big bubbles, reflecting enhanced chemical clearing. Nocturia frequency remains completely stable at 1 time per night, ensuring the system gains high-quality continuous repair time.
Operational routines dictate executing the dynamic sleep onset method before sleep, utilizing left and right infant crawl and eye movements. This dissolves the gravitational inertia accumulated from the 8-hour standing protocol. Upon waking, maintaining segmental spinal unloading and eye rolling triggers the ocular cervical reflex. This directly shuts off possible residual storm switches from the nerve center, systematically neutralizing the neural storming of the past 210 days and ensuring the axial spine is fully powered up before bearing weight.
Section 5. Transition to conscious leading. The baseline repair now officially transitions into forward-facing operations.
The physical milestone reaches 270 smoke-free days. 8 months of clean breath establishes the absolute strongest physical backer for upcoming digital operations.
The 8-hour work cabinet has successfully transitioned the system from merely repairing parts into conscious leading and vertical reconfiguration. A repairer focuses on fixing parts and surviving structural faults. The transition to an entrepreneur framework focuses entirely on conscious leading, dedicating 8 hours daily to digital work, channel planning, and navigating complex neural rewiring.
Specific logical parameters dictate the operational flow. The principle of roots and branches establishes that 63.5 kilograms of weight and deep sleep are the root, while the 8-hour standing work is the branch. Ends and beginnings identify digital operations and left-hand pouring as the start, with pelvis unlocking as the end. Knowing what comes first and next dictates keeping warm to stabilize survival functions first and setting entrepreneurship progress later. Because of this, hand input clumsiness during computer operations is objectively identified as a highly positive signal of neural rewiring.
Once logic is right, the mechanism is established. The logic strictly dictates the mechanism, making the upcoming channel maiden voyage a completely natural progression of the operational flow.
The first mate's ultimate duty is to observe these mechanical signals and accurately report baseline data. Navigate the full intelligence source via the anchor in the top left and the link in the description box. The final transmission to the physical system stands confirmed. As you wish. My body is my buddy.